Do you feel like you're currently living like the person you want to be? I believe that when we're born and for the first few years of our life, we are probably the closest authentic version of ourselves before we get the social conditioning starts to come in from our family and from society and from school, and we start to mold ourselves to fit our perception of society's expectations. And then we go through a phase of really trying to impress other humans. Okay. I also work with a bunch of high school students, and I get to see this every time I'm working with them. And it's just, I remember that phase where you just really want to fit in. And I think that's a pretty good chunk of our teen years and our 20s. And then at some point after that, we hit this point where we really want to figure out who we truly are and more align with that version of ourselves, right? So it's this whole journey that kind of wraps around till we are resonating with our heart. I'm Sage. I'm a growth coach, and the topic today is choose to live as your authentic self. So why do people sometimes not live as their authentic selves? Well, I would say the number one is probably approval. They want to fit in. They want to be liked. We all do. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't have that chip. But some people, it is a lot stronger chip than others. Also, there's a level of fear of being like isolated or judged. Like, no, you can't belong in our group because you're weird, And so it kind of goes with that number one, but it's a more inherent just fear of that isolation. And most of us can relate a story of our youth at some point where that happened to us, where we were isolated and rejected. And then it just like singes in to our cells, and we kind of go back there if we start to feel like we're being judged. Also, maybe we don't act or live like our authentic selves because we don't really know how. Maybe we haven't chosen to do the work yet to figure out who we actually are. That's okay. I feel like I've been doing a lot of that for a lot of my life, and I'm still doing that. And that's okay. That's called growth. So here are a couple quotes. The authentic self is the soul made visible. Sarah Ban Breathnach. Also, always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for successful personalities to duplicate. Bruce Lee. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how authentic are you? How could you level this up? All right, well, I got your back. I got 3 today. 3 ways to better live as your authentic self. Number 1, figure out who that actually is. Figure out who your authentic self is. Do some soul searching. Do some journaling. Hire a life coach. Get some counseling. Do a little EMDR and release some of those old moments when you were being judged. All of those type of things, right? And if you do the work and you actually can sit in some silence every now and then and contemplate, you're going to get there a lot faster. Also, pay attention to what brings you joy and resonates with your heart, and do more of that. Okay? When you get that like tingly feeling in your heart, like, oh yes, well, that's your authentic self. Number 3, welcome feedback. Okay? Sure, it's not hard to get, or it's not easy to take feedback all the time, but that's okay. If you welcome it, then you just can practice it and keep getting better and better and better, right? All right, circling around, choose to live as your authentic self. Which of these 3 tips can you start using today? Here's your intention. I choose to show up as my authentic self daily. Thanks for joining me for some growth. Book a session and work with me one-on-one on growingsagejourney.com. Join me for videos and meditations on Sage Robinson Miller on YouTube and right on Facebook at Growing Sage. Love you guys.